Hi there everybody and welcome to this week's live stream GuitarQuest lesson. This week we will be continuing on as we have been over the last few weeks with GuitarQuest 4 and pushing on with the going over a few of the things we covered before, as well as hopefully getting on to something new. Hopefully all the practices has gone well this week, and yeah, just before we get started, so just a couple of things. So if you have any devices that might ping away at you, like notifications and that, please do turn them off so we can have our 30 minutes of undivided guitar time. If there's any children that happen to be watching, then suggest having an adult in the room just to help explain a few bits and pieces. And other than that, we've got the chat function going, so if you've got any questions, please do fire away and I will do my best to answer them. So good stuff. Okay, so we are just going to check our tunings before we crack on. So this is our bottom E string, so hopefully yours sounds the same as that. And then what we're going to do is just continue tuning it by ear. We've been doing that for the last few weeks. So we go 6th string 5th fret for our A, and then hopefully the 5th string will sound the same, but if it doesn't, you adjust it until it does. And once you're happy with that, you go to the 5th string at the 5th fret, which is our D, and then you play the open 4th string and you adjust the 4th string until it sounds the same as that D on the 5th string. Then when you're happy with that, we'll go to the 4th string 5th fret, which is the G. So once we've played the G, compare that to our open 3rd string, and you know, if the 3rd string is a little bit off, then you just adjust it until it sounds the same as our 4th string. So we're happy with those, and we come over to the G string, and we're going to go to the 4th fret this time. So this is our note B, so you play that, we're convinced or we're happy that that's the correct note. Then we play the open B string, and hopefully it sounds the same. And again, just adjust away until you have them sounding as close as you can get them. And then when you're happy with that, we go to the 2nd string 5th fret for our E. This is the last one. So the 2nd string 5th is the correct note, and then the open E string is the one we're going to adjust if we need to, until it sounds the same as the 2nd string 5th fret. So hopefully when you've done that, your guitar will sound like it's in tune, and like we normally do, we'll just strum through a few chords just to make sure they sound more or less correct. So let's just start with the G, and just try and listen as you play it. Does anything sound off? And just tweak away a little bit, just until you're happy with the sound. So that's a G. How about a C? How about A minor? And then we'll finish off with an E. So yeah, hopefully you're happy with your tuning there. Just a quick reminder as well, in terms of posture, try not to let that guitar slide away from you too much. As we mentioned before, when it slides away like that, it's going to make it a bit more difficult on the left hand. But I do appreciate you can see more, so just trying to find that sweet spot really for wherever you're at on your guitar journey at the moment. So cool, okay, we are going to get stuck into a warm-up. So the last few weeks we were playing just the open strings and playing the difference between crotchets, quavers and semiquavers. So today we're going to do the same kind of thing, we're just going to add some fretted notes in. So we're going to play open E, F, F sharp and then G. And so we're going to play those as single crotchets, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to play them as quavers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then semiquavers. That kind of idea. Okay, so let's try it together. So obviously, if you've got any questions, do fire away. But yeah, basically just open string, then fret 1, fret 2, and fret 3. Okay, here we go. So after 4, just nice and steady. Okay, so 3, 4. So it's open E, then F, F sharp, G. I'm going to go quavers. Semiquavers. Okay, so that's cool. So let's do exactly the same thing on the 2nd string. Okay, so we're going to start on the open B, and then then C, C sharp, and D. Okay, here we go. So 3, 4, and 1. And quavers. And then semiquavers. Cool. Okay, and then one other final thing just to try again, just to sort of round off a bit of a warm up, is we're going to try playing open string, then first, then second, third, and fourth, but we're just going to do them one after the other, and we're going to go a little bit quicker. So we're going to go almost like the speed of quavers, so like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, and then we'll try it as semiquavers. So. Something kind of like that. Anyway, so let's try it as quavers. So here we go. So 3 and 4 and 1. And again. And then semiquavers. Oh no, I'm going to confuse myself. We'll just go at that speed. So we'll just go faster. I'm confusing myself. So. Okay, so just a bit quicker on those notes. Okay, here we go. So da 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 3 and 4 and. Okay, so apologies about that. I thought I had an idea, and it turns out it didn't work quite as well as I was expecting, but you get the idea. So what we're doing with that, particularly that last exercise, is we're really kind of coordinating the left and the right hands, and by picking up the speed a little bit, that will probably challenge you in terms of that coordination. So you know, if you found it easy, try going faster. If you found it difficult, slow it down a little bit, and just gradually pick up the speed as and when you feel you can. So excellent. Okay, so let's move on. So we're going to have a go at number 6 now. So we've covered this one over the last couple of weeks. So again, this is just a bit of a kind of easing ourselves into the lesson for today. So number 6 then, bamboo forest, things to watch out for. We're in the 5th position primarily. Lots of semiquavers in there to think about. We have F sharps as well. We'll play the repeats as well, so do bars 1, 2, 3, 4, then repeat, and we go through to the end. And that's kind of it really. Like we talked about in previous weeks, I think this one in terms of the notes is not necessarily that hard. However, the technique in order to play all the semiquavers smoothly is kind of the challenge with this one. So remember, we want to be trying to continue that sort of alternating of the index and middle fingers the whole time. Or walking fingers as it's sometimes called. So yeah, just try and do your best with that, and if you find you're just using the same like index finger the whole time, you know, in terms of playing along together, yeah, that's okay for today, but obviously from a practice and technique development perspective, you want to try and get those fingers alternating, because that's just going to serve you better in the long run. So okay, let's give it a go then. So we're coming in after 4, starting on that E, 2nd string, 5th fret. If you've got any questions, do fire away, but I'll assume because we've covered it before, we're okay to just kind of dive straight in really. So right, let's give it a go. So here we go, after 4. So 3 and 4 and. Beginning. Second line again. And the semiquaver bit. Okay, cool. So that was Bamboo Forest, exercise 6. So hopefully you're okay with that. Again, obviously, if you've got any questions, do fire away. But as I say, we've covered that for a couple of weeks. So we're going to move on and just revisit the 6/8 timing and Sherry's jig that we talked about last week. So with 6/8 timing, that's what's called compound timing. So rather than having, well, in this case, we're going to have two dotted crotchet beats in the bar. So rather than having just straight crotchets, which would be kind of simple time, like 4/4, 3/4, that kind of thing. 6/8, we've got dotted crotchets, and because it's a dotted crotchet, we divide that then into groups of 3, which is why in the notation you tend to see, or you should see in 6/8, quavers grouped in bunches of 3 and not 2. So hopefully that makes sense. And one of the big things to note with 6/8 timing is that a crotchet is worth 2 beats now, because we're thinking in terms of quavers. So every quaver in the bar is worth 1 beat. So we've got 6 quavers in the bar, so each quaver is worth 1. So therefore, a crotchet being worth 2 quavers is now worth 2. So that can be a little bit confusing initially, but hopefully it makes sense. And you know, once you've played it a few times, I think it sort of falls into place. But obviously, like I say, if you've got any questions, do fire away. So yeah, let's have a look at the example just above Sherry's jig. Just some timing on the note G in 6/8. So if I just play it to you, just to recap that timing. So remembering a crotchet is worth 2, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and so with 6/8 you want to put, because we've kind of got these 2 strong beats in the bar, which would be beats 1 and 4 in terms of our counting, you'd put just a slight accent on those if you can, just to kind of mark it out and make it sound like it's got that 6/8 feel. You know, how much or how little you do that will kind of be personal taste. As long as you get the feel of it, then it should be fine, you know. So okay, so let's have a go at number 7. Now I know we talked through this last week, but got a little bit rushed, so we'll just go through it in a little bit more detail again today. So we're going to start on that note A, 3rd string, 2nd fret, and it's a crotchet, so in 6/8 time that's now worth 2 of our count of 6. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, playing it obviously the 2nd time, and then we go up to the E, 4, 5, 6. So that first bar is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So relatively simple in terms of the notes. Then if we go into the 2nd bar, we're onto the D, same kind of timing, so 1, 2, 3, and then we've got this bunch of 3 quavers. You can see they're grouped into that bunch of 3, which is what you'd expect to see in 6/8 or 12/8 or something like that. So yeah, the second half of that 2nd bar, then we're going to go C, B, A, and you can play the C and the B as a pull-off, and then go to the A. It's up to you. I found as I was playing it, like the pull-offs kind of naturally helped create that feel, or the sort of feel that I wanted to try and create for this one. But if you're not comfortable with it, just pluck each note, and that'll be fine. So those first 2 bars, then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then next bar, kind of similar. So that timing on those first on bars 3 and 4 to begin with is all the same, and then the last 3 notes, same kind of thing. Again, you can do a pull-off if you want. So C, B, G this time rather than C, B, A. And then as we come onto the 2nd line, same bar 5 is the same as bar 1, so 2 A's. Then as we come to bar 6, starts the same. And this is where it gets a bit more tricky. So before we get onto that tricky bit, let's just go to the end of bar 5 and just try that together, see how you go. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So I'll count us in, so I'm going to go 4, 5, 6, and then we'll come in on that section, okay? So here we go. So 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, forgot to play. Let's try that again. Okay, so 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's the first bit. Hopefully that makes sense. As we come into the next bar, so we talked about the D and the E, same kind of timing, and then we're just into this run of quavers, and this is what's going to make it a little bit more tricky. So watch out for the F sharps, and where you get the little brackety things, that's your slur marking, so we can play those as pull-offs. You can do them as if you want, or just replug the notes, it's your call, okay? So halfway through bar 6 then, we're going to go G to F sharp, and then down to E, and then bar 7 we go F sharp to E, down to D, then E, D, C, then D, C, B, A. So you can sort of see a pattern hopefully that we start on G and go down 3 notes, then we start on the next note down and go down 3, F sharp, E, D, then we start on the next note down and go down 3, and then the next one, and then we finish that run of notes there. And that kind of idea is quite common in music, so you get this, you know, it just creates this sort of sequence of notes that just crops up quite a lot. So it's good to kind of spot those kind of patterns so that you almost sort of half know what's coming next. And that might seem quite abstract at the moment, but the more you play and the more you get used to your scales and things like that, the more you go, oh okay, he's just sort of, he or she I should say, is just kind of working down a scale, but just kind of, you know, starting there, doing a run of 3 or 4 notes, and then coming down a note and doing another run of 3 or 4 notes, and that kind of thing. So so yeah, just to demonstrate, so from halfway through bar 6 then, we can go so hopefully that makes sense. Shall we try lines 1 and 2 together, see how we go? Let me know if that's too fast, but otherwise I'll assume that's going to be doable for the time being. So here we go, after 6, from the beginning to the end of the second line, okay? So 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Okay, cool. So hopefully that was okay. Do let me know if you've got any questions on it. But otherwise, we're going to go on to the last line. So we've got a top E to begin with, and I should just say dotted crotchet to kick things off. That's worth 3 quavers. So that's basically half the bar. So you've got a top E there. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to come in on beat 4, A, G, A, and again you can do the pull off there if you want. Same in the next bar, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're kind of back to our same kind of timing that we had earlier really. So we've got E to G, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, watch out for that F sharp there, and then we come down to the D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we would repeat that line and then go back and play the first 2 lines again for our DC Alfine section. So let's attempt that 3rd line together. We're going to play it twice through, just the 3rd line. So yeah, good luck, see how you go. Okay, so after 6, so 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, repeat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. Okay. So at which point we go back and play the first 2 lines again for our DC Alfino. Hopefully that makes sense. So what we're now going to do is attempt to play the whole thing together, including all the repeats. So we do lines 1 and 2, then we play them again. Then we play the 3rd line twice, and then we go back and play lines 1 and 2 one final time. So hopefully this is all okay. I haven't seen any questions, so I'm assuming you're all relatively happy. So let's give it a go and see how you get on. So good luck. Just nice and slow. So after 6, so 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second line. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second line. Last line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3. So we're repeating that line, I should have said. Back to the beginning. Finish up there. So, well done if you managed to play through it. Definitely give yourself a pat on the back on that one. So there's a couple of new ideas in there, like obviously with the 6/8 timing and that. So yeah, you should be really pleased if you managed to play through it. So all good, and we are going to move on. So in the blue box, got a little bit about simple and compound time, which we sort of talked about earlier. So simple time, each beat is divided into 2 equal parts. Compound time is divided into 3 equal parts. And so we're talking about dotted crotchets and that kind of thing when we're talking about compound time. But let's move on. So G major arpeggio. Now, we've played a G chord before. And a chord is made up of 3 notes. So the G major is made of the 1st, 3rd and the 5th notes of the G major scale. So when we play an arpeggio, all we're really doing is taking those 3 notes that are sort of buried within this chord shape, and we're going to play them in order. So we play like the 1st note, the 3rd note, the 5th note, then we go another 1st note, 3rd note, 5th note, and then a 1st note again. So this arpeggio that we're going to play would be described as a 2-octave arpeggio, because we're going from G to G to G and then back again, if that makes sense. So I'll just demonstrate. So again, I've kept it in 6/8, so just you know, maintain a bit of practice in that. So we're going to go G to B to D, so just like the first 3 notes of the chord there. Then we've got to do the same again, but an octave higher, so G to B to D. So what you've got to watch out for there, depending on how you're playing this G chord, if you're playing the G with the, like if you normally play a G, I should say, with fingers 3 and 4 down, you're going to have to lift that third finger off to get the B, and then you put it down to get the D. And conversely, if you normally play the G that way, so without the pinky at all, you're going to have to get the third finger onto that D and then use the pinky finger to get the high G, if that makes sense. So you could move that finger across from the D to the G at the end, but we'll lose the continuity and the flow of it. So we want to try and use fingers 3 and 4 there. So hopefully that's making sense. But if we look at the notes and know that we're going to play through this chord shape just with this third finger lifting on and off. So I just demonstrate a little slower. So we start on the G, then a B, then a D, then a G, then an open B, then a D, so put the third finger down, and then get the pinky to the first string at the 3rd fret. Now you don't necessarily have to have those 2 fingers down. I'll move them off just to demonstrate. So you can just kind of move them in place as and when you need to, particularly if you find it difficult to hold the shape and lift that 3rd finger on and off. You know, again, when you've played for a long time, that's not such a big deal, but when you're early in your journey, that movement in that finger can feel a little bit awkward, so watch out for that. I would say the more you can hold the chord shape for this particular one, the better, really, but as I say, you can just put the fingers on as and when you need to. What I would suggest is you keep fingers 1 and 2 held down so that the chord all rings into each other really nicely. You know, you don't want that kind of thing, because the open strings are going to ring on, so we want to try and maintain that kind of bassy kind of feel as well. So the other thing just to watch out for would be, as we play it, we're going to use on the right hand the thumb to play the first 3 notes, so the bass strings, and then when we come on to the treble strings, we go index, middle, index, middle, and then kind of carrying on in reverse. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, like in terms of how you play with right hand fingers, it's not like you have to do it that way every time. This is just an example of how you could play it. What we don't want to do is use the thumb. Sorry. You don't really want to use the thumb for all of them. You know, it's fine to do it from, you know, at certain times, you know, if you're demonstrating the idea to somebody or whatever. But from a general development point of view, we want to be using the thumb and the fingers just to kind of, you know, keep developing that technique, basically. So let's give it a go. It's a very straightforward exercise. So here we go. After 6, okay. So 4, 5, 6. And that is all there is to it. So well done if you managed to play through that. By no means, you know, that's a lot easier than I think number 7 was. So you know, it's but it's an important idea, and yeah, particularly if you decide you want to get into soloing and things like that, or even just like composition, having some arpeggios that you can throw into your playing is always a really great asset that you can bring to your style. So so yeah, I would totally try and get on board with that. You know, and if you've got any questions about arpeggios more generally, then we can obviously talk about those. This is really just an introduction to the idea, so that, you know, if you ever say to anybody, "Oh, I've been doing an online guitar course," and someone says, "Oh, do you know what an arpeggio is?" Hopefully now you've at least got a vague idea. So cool. Okay, so just quickly, I'm just going to put the that backing track on. It's very short. In fact, if I just bring the music up onto the screen, just so you can hear how it's going to sound once we have the backing track going. So if you're listening to it during the week, then hopefully yeah, hopefully you'll be able to follow along and play along with it. So okay, so here's number 8. So have a listen, let me know what you think. Okay, so as I say, you know, compared to the other exercises, it's not really a song to play along with as such, but it just gives you the demonstration as to what you want to be, what you want it to sound like. So, excellent. Right, I think that's going to be a good place for us to finish up today. So, firstly, thank you for joining in on the lesson today. I appreciate that. Hopefully, you found it useful. In terms of things to practice this week, I would, what would I suggest? We'll keep going with that same kind of warm-up that we played today, you know, the that kind of thing. So we'll have a go at that, and other than that, we'll probably just focus on exercises 7 and 8, and then we'll obviously next time we will move on to number 9 and beyond. We'll just see how we go with it, really. So. So yeah, I should also mention there's no lesson next week because it's half term around here, so I'm going to take next Thursday off. So we'll be back again in 2 weeks, which is the 26th of February. Yeah, so that's pretty much wraps it up. If you've got any questions, please do fire away. I'll be here for another few minutes, and otherwise, please give the lesson a thumbs up. Feel free to record yourself if you feel like it and feeling confident, and share it and stuff. Or feel free to mention these videos to, or these lessons to anybody else that you think might be interested in, you know, and just share them around, really. So, okay, well, have a wonderful couple of weeks, everybody, and I will see you again soon. All right, take care then. Bye-bye.